Hi, welcome to the BlueMilk podcast. I'm BJ.
I'm Jacob.
I'm drinking.
And we talk about Star Wars. So what's today's topic, gentlemen?
Fallen Order.
What about it?
So, for all of y'all who don't know what Fallen Order is, it is the
Order that has fallen.
Well, it's referencing the Jedi Order. Yeah. It is the video game that is being published by Respawn, which is a...
No. Published by EA, developed by
It's
Respawn.
developed by Respawn.
Okay, published by EA.
Get your facts straight, bitch.
Shut down, motherfucker!
Well, I mean, that is important because
Yeah.
Respawn isn't paying for the game.
Okay.
They're making the game.
Alright, so...
EA is paying Respawn to make the game.
Okay.
Which is important to some people.
Yeah.
To understand this.
Yeah. Okay, so...
Why did this come up?
So
Yeah.
a week ago, E3 happened.
Yes.
And so...
What is E3?
E3 is I don't know what it stands for.
Electronic Entertainment Expo.
So it should be EQ.
It's 3 E's.
Then just do 3E. Why is it gotta be... It's gotta be fancy, call it E3.
E3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where a lot...
You could call it E cubed. I mean, that would make sense to me.
E sub 3.
That could work too, yeah.
E. You just call it E. Alright, sorry, man. Fucking tangent. Alright, let's get back to...
So, Fallen Order, they've released some new footage. They released a demo, a few trailers here and there. Got a snippet of the storyline.
Their trailer that we can...
Oh yeah, totally.
Description.
Yeah.
I believe there's 2 trailers.
There's the
at this
original
point.
trailer that was released at Celebration. There's the trailer that was released last week, and then there was also the 13-minute demo that they released last week as well.
Oh, is that the one that I was looking at this morning?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
This game looks awesome.
Yeah.
If they keep it the way... If they keep all of the mechanics in, I don't know how the story's going to go, and graphics I'm sure will improve because the video game, the gameplay trailer that they have is alpha. That's all alpha.
I didn't see anything really wrong with graphics. The physics kind of had issues with the dude running, but...
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some issues they probably have to work out, but as it states in the video and the trailer, it's all alpha footage. Which means they still have quite a bit of work to do before it gets to the point where it's a final product.
Cool.
But I know something involving it that is hilarious.
Go for it.
There's already a naked mod for it.
No.
Oh.
What's hilarious is, EA is publishing the game,
Mm-hmm.
and Respawn is the developer. They are the ones that are actually coding and creating the assets and making the game and everything like that. All EA is doing is throwing money at it. What's funny is the fact that because if you don't know the sordid history of EA and their Star Wars franchise that has existed underneath them for, I don't know, a good 5+ years at this point, maybe?
Sure.
Because they created the newest Battlefront and Battlefront 2.
4 years. They've had the rights for a while, but it's been 4 years of Star Wars games have been released.
Okay. Those last 2 were not received well. The first one had a huge controversy involving it, which led to the whole loot boxes being gambling kind of controversy. And that was just a lot of bad press for Battlefront 1. Battlefront 2 had significantly less bad press, but it was released to a somewhat mediocre kind of release. It wasn't seen as a good game, but it wasn't seen as a terrible game either.
It's alright, it's just limited map areas.
It's effectively a very lukewarm kind of release. Yeah. It wasn't amazing. So, what's funny is Disney was really, really upset with EA and their bungling, I guess, their failure at Battlefront 1 and 2. The Disney pretty much told EA, how the fuck did you fuck this up? All you had to do was copy and paste the original Battlefront.
Seriously, they did. That's all. We just wanted upgraded graphics of Battlefront 2.
All you had to do was just take
All
you had to do was just take Battlefront 1, the original, and Battlefront 2, the original, which came out I think in the 90s.
No,
Battlefront 1.
Battlefront 1 came out in 2002 or something like that, and Battlefront 2 came out in 2005 or 2006.
All they had to do was just upgrade. Like, if they had made the graphics that are in Battlefront 1 and 2, the new ones, and taken those graphics and put them on original Battlefront 1 and 2's gameplays and mechanics, those games would have, skyrocketed. They would have just shot through the damn roof. It would have been perfect. But they didn't do that. And Disney was very upset at EA, to the point that they pretty much told EA that they don't have control of Respawn or Fallen Order at all. They don't get to interact with Respawn. They don't get to do any critiques. They don't get to do anything. Respawn answers directly to Disney.
Well, it's good.
So EA is...
No, I think that is good.
EA pretty much is like, Disney told EA, you're floating the bill on this, and that's it. Respawn answers to Disney. Don't even try to talk or interact or do anything with Fallen Order at all.
EA needs to stay working on their FIFA, their Madden, their NASCAR, their fucking copy shits, their copy and paste. They're famous for copy and paste. Why can't they just copy and paste Battlefront 1 and 2 from original Xbox and PS2?
I don't know.
Done.
I don't know.
That's it. That's all we fucking needed.
Yeah. But I found
Jesus, people.
I found it kind of hilarious with the fact that Disney had to step in with this, and they pretty much said they pretty much told EA, they're like, if Respawn actually if this is successful, then we are effectively just giving the franchise to Respawn, and they can move forward with what they want to do.
Good.
And EA doesn't get a say in it.
Good. That's one of the few things that I've actually agreed with Disney on.
Now, is Respawn a subsidiary of EA?
Yeah.
Okay.
Respawn is owned by EA.
Okay.
It's under the umbrella of the EA corporation.
So only Respawn will be able to touch Star Wars at that point.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And that's at least for the duration of EA's contract with Disney for the rights to Star Wars.
2021 or 2023, I can't remember.
Oh, is it that far out? I thought it was actually...
We still...
it's still 3 or 4 more years.
Well, still, they can throw the money in and if one of their companies.
If Fallen Order does good, they can make a bunch of DLC to expand it, because there's no multiplayer in Fallen Order.
Good.
Which is kind of too bad, because I do like that aspect of it. I like interacting with the other players, but I love the RPG.
A co-op would be perfect. That would be really fun to play. It doesn't fit the story of Fallen Order, though. Because the way they're developing Fallen Order is they're making it a solo story. You're playing your character.
It's Far Cry, that type of thing.
Jacob was comparing it a lot to Force Unleashed,
which I've never played.
Well, it didn't have any multiplayer or co-op at all either. It was a single-player story, and you were playing as Starkiller, and you were the apprentice of Darth Vader, and you pretty much play through the story, and it's an all-encompassing game. They eventually came out with expansions for it, DLC, stuff like that.
And there was a Force Awakens 2, and...
The point is that Force Unleashed was the last time that they ever came out with this kind of single-player adventure kind of role-playing game, Star Wars game. I believe that was the last one.
I believe so, yeah. Other than Old Republic, but Old Republic is an MMO.
Yeah, Old Republic is MMO. But it's still single player.
And Fallen Order felt kind of like the Old Republic, only without the
MMO aspect. Yeah. So it seems like they're definitely sticking to the single player. There's no multiplayer. And it's a clear, concise story is what they're working on. I don't know if it's open world. It seems pseudo-linear according to the...
I believe so, isn't it? Yeah.
that's kind of...
It's going to be telling a story, so...
I like exploring, though.
Well, I mean, they're going to be somewhat pseudo-open areas. I mean, I don't know if you've ever played, like, Dragon Age Inquisition or anything like that. They're pseudo-open areas, so it allows for multiple ways to get to the objective on the map. It'll allow for multiple paths and ways to make your own way to the objective.
Kind of like Tomb Raider.
Yeah, where like Tomb Raider, it was like, the objective is to get to this one point on the map, to get like the relic or the artifact or whatever. And then it's up to you to pretty much just figure out a way to get to it. Like, sometimes there's a clear path, sometimes there's traps, sometimes, you have to climb up here and then go over here, backtrack, and then go... Like,
well, that's not too bad, then.
Yeah, it'll feel pseudo-open, but as far as I know, it's a relatively linear story in that you're kind of going from place to place to place.
The one thing another thing that kind of stood out was... In that trailer, or not trailer, it was the gameplay video.
It's a gameplay trailer, yeah.
There were a hell of a lot of cutscenes. And I'm hoping the game itself isn't mostly cutscenes, because that would get really boring for me. I want to play the damn game. I don't want to see a friggin' movie.
Well, so I think what they were showing off in that regard is the fact that it seamlessly, because it does seamlessly go from like cutscene to gameplay.
Well,
which
it did appear to be that way, yeah.
Think is what they're trying to go for, and the fact that like when you look at a cutscene, usually you're like, oh, that's like that's a cutscene graphics. Mm-hmm. That's cutscene graphics. That's not gameplay graphics.
Right, and they did look the same.
The
characters in gameplay were the same as the characters in the cutscene.
And I think that's what they were going for by having that kind of like cutscene. But it was interesting to see what Saw Gerrera.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Mm-hmm. A younger one.
Yeah. I'm thinking about a few years before Rogue One or so is where this kind of takes place.
Well, yeah.
At least that part is. Yeah.
And it sounded like it was voiced by Forrest Whitaker as well, which was really cool.
Because something that I didn't notice, but BJ, when we were talking about it, is that Saw Gerrera, he doesn't have his robot leg yet. Mm-hmm. So this might also tell the story of him blowing off his leg. That'd be kind of interesting.
Maybe.
Well, I pointed out to Jacob, I'm like, we don't exactly know like how much Saw Gerrera is going to be in the story. Like, we don't know how...
I'm hoping quite a bit.
We don't know how intermingled, like, this Padawan Jedi kid that we don't even know his name.
Yeah, his name was... Crap. I'll throw it up there.
M.
It's in there. The name is there.
Oh, he does say his name?
Yeah, okay. His name is there.
Well, this Jedi kid, we don't... What I was telling Jacob was that we know from other, like, the original trailer, we know that, like, Stealth...
We've never heard of him.
Yeah, no, he's new. He was created specifically just for this story that they're telling in Fallen Legion. Or Fallen Order. Fallen Legion. But, we don't know his story, but we do know from the previous trailer that stealth and, like, staying hidden is going to be a primary kind of subplot, or a kind of motivator. In the beginning, anyway. You don't start with your lightsaber. So, we don't know how far into the game you're going to be running into Saw Gerrera.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, we know from the previous trailer that this kid pretty much is hiding from the Empire, because it's post Episode 3 and the Jedi Purges.
Yeah.
So he's in hiding, so he isn't actively, using the Force. He isn't like acting like a Jedi at all. He's trying to pretty much just be a normal person.
And we do know that he was a Padawan. So he's probably in his 20s or so at this point, depending on the timeline, per se.
It's probably accurate.
So do you think that it's going to be a little bit of like an Assassin's Creed type of feel in the beginning?
That's what I was trying to think of. It did remind me, a lot of the moves and stuff that they were doing reminded me of Assassin's
Hardcore
Creed.
parkour.
Yeah. Hardcore parkour.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I really like in the moves where you can grab a person, towards you and just stab the guy. That's pretty like
really awesome.
For a Disney produced, Disney video game, that's kind of savage.
Violent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. So, like, Fallen Order definitely looks like a kind of spiritual successor to Force Unleashed.
I'm trying not to get my hopes too high.
Same here. I mean, it is still being published by EA.
Yeah.
And they have a very rough history. Yeah. Oh, also Disney just restructured LucasArts.
No, I think that was a few weeks ago, but yeah.
Yeah, the video game
It's no
company.
longer LucasArts, it's something... It's a little bit...
Farts.
No, it's something different. It's not LucasArts, though.
But it's effectively LucasArts.
It's
Disney wins.
Yeah, it's LucasArts Lite.
And I believe
Junior.
I believe that company is the one that's currently working on KOTOR 3. Either they are working on KOTOR 3 or BioWare is like possibly working on KOTOR 3.
Well, I guess I'll have to look into that.
Yeah.
Well, BioWare is BioWare is on thin ice right now with EA as well because of their latest game, Anthem, not doing well at all. So there's a lot of
If only they brought us 1313.
which there's actually
You keep bringing that up.
there's actually an independent company that's making it.
Really?
Disney gave them YouTube, Star Wars Fan Theory or whatever, that channel on YouTube.
Yeah.
Disney gave them the rights to make, or gave them the okay to make Star Wars 1313.
1313.
Yes, a YouTube production company
Interesting.
is making Star Wars 1313. I don't know if that's good. I don't know if it's good at all because they've never made a video game before.
It's going to be 8-bit graphics.
And
So
they are a
Minecraft.
YouTube channel. Now, I mean, this is one of the larger YouTube channels. They make a lot of money.
Yeah.
It'll be like Atari's Adventure, where it's just walls that you move through.
I mean, honestly,
it's like Doom.
If
or that.
It's like
yeah, there you go.
with
if Disney
jetpacks.
gave them the okay, then they might have thrown all the assets that they had from 1313 at them.
Maybe.
So we'll see in about 10 years then.
Maybe, I don't know. Well, yeah, probably 10 years. But yeah, from what I understand, 1313 is actually being worked on by someone.
That's interesting. I
We'll
don't
see.
know how I feel about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when are you guys going to come up with something that Disney will throw money at?
1314.
Yeah,
While the whole 1313 is going on, you see this other guy who's trying to make a running business on the dark side, on level 1314, and he hears this
All
commotion.
he has is a shovel and he's just trying to dig down.
He keeps hearing all this commotion, crowds yelling, and explosions and all that stuff from the level below. He's like, "What the fuck is going on?" And he's like, "I want to get into this action." That's where comes the shovel. It's an energy shovel. So he pushes the button, and it goes, you. So now it's like Minecraft. Okay? They're building off Minecraft. We got 1313. We got Star Wars, multi-million-dollar company, or video game.
Actually, it would be interesting to see a Minecraft-esque Star Wars version. Because, I mean, they do have...
I think there is a Star Wars mod for that, isn't
Well,
there?
it's reskins. It's reskins, and it adds some textures in.
Texture packs and everything like that, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm talking like a legitimate Star Wars game, similar to like how Lego Star Wars is, but actually like Minecraft, because they have a game that's very much like Minecraft, but is not, and it's called Dragon Quest Builders, which plays a lot like Minecraft. I mean, you have the whole, pickaxe to the ground, get a dirt block, use that to build stuff, combining resources to make things. But it's in the Dragon Quest universe, which is actually kind of cool. And there's bosses and stuff like that, and you're actually building towns and doing stuff inside there. It's a very story-driven. It's single-player, it's story-driven, and it plays a lot like Minecraft. I would actually like to see something like that in the Star Wars universe. Which would be interesting, because you're effectively like, maybe it would be like a Jedi rebuilding the Jedi Order, like you're going from like area to area building Jedi temples.
Or an Imperial outpost.
Yeah.
Or like smuggler outposts.
Yeah.
Bounty hunter outposts.
Fallen Order is Jedi.
Yeah.
Yes.
When are we going to have a Sith-driven game?
Well, technically, never. Force Unleashed 1 and 2... Well, 1... 1 was from the side of the Empire, because you are... In Force Unleashed 1, you, throughout the whole game, are the apprentice of Darth Vader, and it's showing how Darth Vader and the Emperor manipulated the, like, Mon Mothma and, like, all the founders of the rebellion into forming the rebellion. Like Darth Vader wanted to...
It was all orchestrated, so
Darth Vader
they could have a war, so
they
could make a movie. So
no, the way they're setting up the story in Force Unleashed is that Darth Vader used Starkiller to create the rebellion so that he could use the rebellion against the Emperor, so that he could defeat the Emperor with the rebellion and the Empire and then take over himself.
Then the Emperor twisted that around, and it was more of that he was using the rebellion so he can get all of the people who was against him in the Senate and everything to rat them out, and then boom, target all of them at that point.
Yeah.
But then during the Force Unleashed and the Force Unleashed 2, you had choices, so you can either go dark side or you can go light side.
Yeah.
And such. So.
And the second one follows if you had gone light side.
Yeah.
But they also made a second, like, DLC, or, like, expansion version of...
I think 1?
The second one.
Second one?
Which is if you went dark side and actually, like, became... like, defeated Vader and became the apprentice to the Emperor.
Like, you're going after Luke Skywalker still.
Yeah.
And then going on Hoth and everything.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they've done some things like that, but it's never, like, the primary story.
And
it's
we're probably
like
never going to get that because Disney is good at
We don't know. We don't know. I mean...
With the graphic violence in this one... And Disney is kind of changing their... At least within the Star Wars area.
It doesn't seem like they're fucking with the Star Wars franchise as in that way. I mean, they are getting very preachy with certain...
Like the movies themselves. But
yeah.
All the other aspects, it seems like they're sticking normal.
Yeah, so, I mean, maybe we'll see some DLC or a second game or whatever that'll have it go dark side. And the main character would be, like, a Sith or something. It would be interesting to see, because one of the things that I want to point out with the gameplay trailer that we saw is, while watching it, it kept popping up with, you've earned a skill point. And I'm like, can we see how that
what's the
works?
skill tree look like?
Can we see what that's all about? Like, I want to know what you use the skill points on, how that works. Like, am I restricted? Is it very linear as to how you develop, like what you use your skill points on?
Or is there an actual tree?
Do you have to go into one specific?
Is it a branching skill tree?
Which would be nice. That would be really cool.
Yeah, like you have to get, force push in order to like progress to the pull, or something along.
Where you can become like more of like a Sith Inquisitor, or you can be more force oriented, or you can be more lightsaber combat oriented. That type of situation would be interesting too.
Or if it applies to the lightsaber forms.
The lightsaber forms would make sense, just from like an offensive defensive kind of standpoint. But I would like to see if they allow a certain degree of lightsaber customization, since you do find your lightsaber in the game. Like, I don't think you start with a lightsaber, you find it, and then, like, I want to know if you can actually do anything to it to make it...
modify it.
Like, better, different...
Change the color of it.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Color, change, like, the wrappings around, change the hilt, make it longer, make it double-bladed.
Yeah, I would like to know if they allow any of that. Yeah, hooked. I don't know if they're going to do it.
That would be kind of cool. cool.
A lightsaber whip requires a lot of, way more programming.
So those skill points go to intelligence, so you can actually build this thing.
Yes, there we go.
Well, I don't know about that because I don't know if the game has attributes per se, like strength, dexterity, intelligence,
Charisma.
It might.
I don't think it does. I think it'll just you get skill points. You put those skill points into skills, and I imagine there are levels to the skills to make them stronger or better, last longer.
Probably.
So what you're really saying is that we need to have a Star Wars-esque D&D video game.
Well, that would be code.
That would be
Knights of the Old Republic.
Is it?
Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2 are effectively D&D. You have all 6 stats you do in D&D.
Right. So it's like World of Warcraft type.
Well, no, World of Warcraft's a little different. You don't actually get attribute points per se when you level up in World of Warcraft. No, it's all based off of your gear.
It's been a long time since I've...
Yeah, it's all based off your gear. You increase your stats do increase as you gain a level, but primarily it's I have a piece of armor that gives me plus 50 to strength. That's what gives you your boost to strength. It isn't oh look, I have points like Diablo 2.
Oh yeah.
Diablo 2
was
had
a fun game too.
Diablo 2 has stat points that you can put into the 3 different attributes like strength, dex, intelligence, stuff like that. That had those. Fallen Order, I don't see having any of that. It's primarily, the way I'm just seeing it is it's going to have... It might have a branching, pseudo-branching skill tree, or it might have something similar to Elder Scrolls Online has, which is you have a primary skill, and then you rank up that primary skill, so Force Push, you have that. You rank up Force Push, once it hits a certain rank, or effectively a degree of usage, then you could upgrade it into one of 2 other choices. And then those 2 choices, you could either go a more upgraded version of Force Push, where you're only hitting one target, but it hits them a lot harder and will throw them a lot farther. Or you can do a wave. Instead of hitting one target, you're hitting multiple targets. So, I mean,
That's kind of cool. Yeah, it would be kind of cool.
I could see it going in that route instead of, in the other routes. But I don't know. Because, I mean, they show a lot of different fucking powers in that gameplay trailer.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that I was really, I don't know about this, is when he freezes people. Did you see, where he freezes the fan, in order to get past the fan, he freezes the fan and then he just walks through it?
See, that looked to me like a Force run type situation.
It's not, because you see later on, he uses it on an individual person, that second, Dark Trooper,
Yeah.
But the other Stormtrooper is moving around normally. So it's literally just locking one dude in place, a Force slow, but on one person.
But it's not also a Force hold because he's still slowly coming.
Yeah, he's slowly moving. So it's he's just slowed down time for that one person. And I see how that can be an offshoot of the Kylo Ren thing where he stops the blaster bolt, because he also does that in the gameplay trailer.
I don't think it's an offshoot. I think that's the moment before actually stopping it, because he can't fully stop it. Because Kylo stopped that thing. He stopped that blaster bullet, and it's still frozen there.
Yeah.
It's waving back and forth. These ones are still continuing, so I think it's actually a thing before it, before you actually stop it, just holding it.
I don't know about a hold, but I definitely think it has something to do with time. It's definitely a Force slow. Would be, I guess, the closest approximation in names that you could give it. But he uses it on an individual person, and then he uses it on a blaster bolt, and then he grabs the guy that shot the blaster bolt, and then holds him in front of the blaster bolt, and his own blaster bolt hits the Stormtrooper and kills him.
That's pretty cool.
That is. That to me, engineering-wise... game developer programming wise, that says they put a lot of effort, because that means that every blaster bolt that is fired in that game is its own item. It's an it's an entity that is separate from like it's not just like a representation of like I roll a number and it hits kind of situation. It's like that's an actual physical object within this game, and that if I like slow it down and then I can like grab someone and chuck them at it, it will physically interact with that person, that other object. So I felt that was actually really cool.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, they've been doing that in like first-person shooters for like ever. It's giving bullets physics.
So, with that, we'll go real quick. What other video games would you like to see if EA loses the licensing and whatnot? What other Star Wars video games would you like to see, or other publishers get their hands on?
I wouldn't mind seeing Ubisoft take a whack at the Star Wars universe.
Ubisoft would be good. I mean, it would probably be similar to either like Watch Dogs or Assassin's Creed. That seems to be the route they're going with all
Watch Dogs would be interesting in the Star Wars universe. A reprogrammer, he's not a Jedi or a Sith or anything like that. He's not even a smuggler, he's just good with technology.
Slicer.
Yeah, there's a slicer that runs
a really good slicer that the Imperials are looking forward to get their hands on.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
It'd be a good story.
Yeah, definitely. Honestly, I think CD Projekt Red would do really good with it. They made The Witcher.
Oh,
yeah.
Shit, yeah.
The Witcher 1, 2, and 3, and now they're doing Cyberpunk 2077, and they also have Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2. Yeah. Like, pretty much everything that I've ever liked in my life, they are making.
Rockstar.
What?
I want Coruscant Drift.
Oh no, Rockstar. That's not Coruscant Drift. That would be more like the people that make Grand Theft Auto, or not Grand Theft Auto, Gran Turismo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like the people that make Gran Turismo, but they would make like a pod racing version of it. I would like to see that, because the Gran Turismo games have
they're fun.
Well, they're fun, but they're super like graphically and pretty, like
and
they're
detailed and
really fucking on the point.
Yeah, you can do so much with that stuff.
And I would like to see them do like a pod racing version kind of game, just to see that level of detail put to like a Star Wars racing
And
game.
you could totally do it on different planets and such.
Well, depending on how The Mandalorian does, I could see one coming out based on The Mandalorian.
Ooh, yeah.
Well, yeah, they generally try to... I mean, there's like a game for all the... Well, I don't know. Is there a game for Episode 7? No, they haven't made a game for Episode 7. Because they used to come out...
That's not true.
Really?
Lego.
Oh, yeah.
They made a Lego version of every single movie.
Well, that's what they're going to be releasing.
Except Rogue One and Solo, I think.
Well, yeah, but they're coming out with, what is it?
The Skywalker Saga, which is all 9 films in one game.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a Lego.
It's super, super fun. It is, because they make fun of the Star Wars universe in a fun way.
To some degree, yeah.
Yeah, it's like Robot Chicken, but Legos.
Way more kid-friendly.
A lot more kid-friendly.
Well, fuck that.
Oddly enough, a lot of adults really like the Lego Star Wars franchise.
Yeah.
A lot of adults aren't necessarily adults.
Most adults are very young at heart.
That's a very PC way of putting it.
Sometimes I can be that way.
PC or young at heart?
Both. But, yeah, okay, so they have actually come out with a video game. But, I mean, that's Lego. They come out with everything. I mean, they even have Batman Lego.
Yeah,
that's
Avengers Lego and everything.
Jurassic Park.
Lego, yeah. But, yeah, no, I CD Projekt Red I think would be really good. The guys that make Gran Turismo would be pretty good.
Bethesda?
They're not bad.
Doom,
They have
Skyrim.
Bethesda's
not
not
bad. They're fun
Bethesda's
gameplays.
not Doom.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, that's it.
The new one.
The new one.
The newest one is
The newest
Bethesda?
one is Bethesda.
Pretty sure.
Really?
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah.
It's fun gameplay. They do great gameplay. Their graphic design isn't overly impressive.
Well, they're coming out with another Elder Scrolls game here pretty soon. Elder Scrolls, 6? I think is what it is. 5 was Skyrim, I think.
5 or 6, yeah, I can't.
Skyrim was their last one that they came out with, and that was 10 years ago. They just keep bringing out re-released versions of it.
Who did the Final Fantasy?
Square Enix.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Well, Square Soft, and now it's
them.
Square Enix.
I do like them.
Them
The
doing
stuff they put out.
Square Enix doing a Star Wars would be interesting. Very interesting. I wonder how that would work. I don't know. They're coming out with a remake of Final Fantasy VII here pretty soon.
Really?
Yeah. They're remaking it with improved graphics.
Oh.
But it's also gonna not quite be turn-based. I don't know. It's weird. Yeah. They're making it look like Advent Children, though. Graphics-wise.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's looking real good.
I
That'll
would
be
say
interesting.
Telltale, but they're not.
Who?
Telltale? They're not around anymore.
They're
They
not
went
anymore,
under.
no. They made the Game of Thrones and Walking Dead Telltale games.
Oh, okay.
So it's like
Wolf
more of
Among
a-
Us.
Yeah, they made a. How would you describe those? Those would be completely story.
They are very graphic novel oriented, I guess. It's very kind of choose your own adventure graphic novel-y. It's all QuickTime events. There's very little actual
Action or
Oh.
You don't actually move the character around a lot. If you are, you're just pushing forward to move them to the next scene. And then there's a QuickTime event, so you have to hit A, and then
Okay.
X, and then whatever, and
It'd be
you tap
kind of
like
interesting if
this.
they had that. But they're no longer anymore.
I don't know. I think the reason they're not around anymore is because that style of game is not as popular as it once
Why
was.
people do-
Speaking of not being around anymore.
Let's get close.
Yeah, it was alright.
Yeah.
Alright.
Alright.
Dirk?
Me?
Yeah. It's all yours.
Are you sure?
Oh, yeah.
You really want me to do this?
It's a lot better
Do
than
it.
me.
Do it. It's true.
Itchy nose and everything.
Same.
Dude, I got scratchy eyes.
Thank you guys for joining us. We hope you enjoyed it. I know I drank.
Is that the new thing for my Apple? I drink?
Oh shit, can you imagine? It's a portable little bar.
That'd be awesome.
Check out our sister podcasts, Real Film Nerds
Wow.
and The Mile High Show.
Whoa.
The Mats.
They love us.
They
Just ask them.
They're all right
No,
with us.
No, they love us. Just ask them.
Santos tolerates us. Henshaw adores us.
They love me.
They put up with me.
I'm a non-entity.
Oh, we talk about you.
Okay.
I mean, they talk about you.
It's whatever.
Thanks to all of our Patreon people.
Yep.
Yep. Thank you, Patreon people.
Check out BJ's new educated shit that comes out every other week.
Check out DIRK's news rant that he does every other week
That's
that I
not
don't have. That's not on my week.
On Fridays at insert time here.
Yeah, whenever I can get it out.
On Fridays. On
On
Facebook.
Fridays, randomly. It'll be there.
on
And
Facebook.
Facebook only for us, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, for his rant and my education.
Hit us up on Facebook. Leave us comments. Tell us what you think. Tell us if you want to hear something, see something.
Give us topics.
Yeah. Talk to us. We know you're out there. All.
4 of you.
Are we back up to
We're back up to 4.
Okay.
We're back
All
up to 4.
All right, we're tied with Real Film Nerds.
I get the impression Real Film Nerds has way more people that listen to it than us.
He has way more. He is so full of shit when he says he only has 4.
Yeah.
And he knows it.
That's a disservice to the people that do listen. He should be honest.
No, they fight amongst themselves. I'm number 4.
It's like Thunderdome.
Yeah.
4 men enter, 1 man leaves.
Would that be Nerdy Dome?
Welcome to the Nerdy Dome.
I wonder if he's done Thunderdome.
Sounds like
Unreal
another
Film
podcast.
Yeah, it does.
That's what he should do.
Nerdy Dome?
No, Thunderdome.
Oh.
Mad Max 2? Beyond Thunderdome?
Yeah.
He should do that next. Actually, no, next he has to do Godzilla. King of the Monsters. It was requested by my roommate, Ray.
And he hasn't done it yet?
No.
Should give him shit.
Is it out yet?
Yeah, it's been out for like a week.
Oh.
Well, 2 weeks by the time this comes out. Yeah, he's busy watching other movies.
Well, he's got shit to do.
I know.
See you guys.
Single.
Come to the dark side.